Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Thursday, December 19th, 2024. The top story this morning: Georgia appeals court disqualifies Fanni Willis from prosecuting Trump. And notice it's right next to Luigi Mangione, who's going to appear in court after the 54th Street execution. Anyhow, Fani Willis, her birthday is October 27th, which means today's news comes on the 54th day of her age. And of course, we talk about this number all the time because it's a calling card for the people who run this nation, including its government and media. Again, that's the Jesuit order, whose headquarters is at the Church of the Jesuit, Building 54. Again, the same order that established Georgetown when John Carroll was 54 years old, the same year that George Washington goes down as the first recognized president after the capital moved to the Jesuit order's stronghold, which is Washington, D.C. Now, again, if you're new here, this practice of coding numbers into words, gematria or gematria, comes from Kabbalah. That's where the term the Cabal comes from. There are 4 base ciphers of the English language. I want to go back to what we documented earlier this year when the headline was Trump's Georgia election subversion case indefinitely paused on June 5th. That was the anniversary of Ronald Reagan dying. Of course, Donald Trump has all the parallels to Reagan. Lifelong Democrats who became Republicans when they became politicians, both Hollywood actors who ran on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. But here, let's go back and look at this ritual. So as we pointed out that day, it was 144 days from Fanni Willis's upcoming birthday, and it was also 153 days from the upcoming election. Look at Jesuit order. With the alphabetic order without numerology, Jesuit order is 144. Again, when you apply numerology to each letter using the alphabetic order, it's 54. For example, J is the 10th letter. In this cipher where Jesuit order equates to 144, J is worth 10. In the cipher we just looked at where Jesuit order is 54, you take the numerology at 10, which is 1 plus 0 is 1, so you get a smaller number. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Jesuit order is 153. And remember, the election this year, more like the selection, was 144 days after Trump's June 14th birthday. And that's interesting because remember, the 5th of November is a day associated with the Jesuits trying to assassinate King James, who died at age 58. Like how in 2016, Trump won the 58th election after having his convention in LeBron's stadium, a.k.a. King James, right after he won the NBA Finals on the real King James's birthday. But yes, these same recurring numbers, these same recurring patterns. Trump now teamed up with RFK Jr., who got in the race officially 144 days after the leader of the Jesuit order's birthday, filling out his paperwork April 5th, 2023, a date that can be written 5/4. Again, he lost his father at 1:44 a.m. June 6, 1968. He lost his uncle 144 days from meeting with the Pope on July 2nd. And July 2nd can be written 7-2. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology, Jesuit order equates to 72. Again, we got the first Jesuit Pope on the 72nd day of the year. President Trump also equals 72, who's Jesuit educated, went to Fordham, whereas RFK Jr. went to Georgetown Prep, and keep in mind RFK Jr. is born in 54. But yeah, there's, again, just the same recurring patterns day after day. And I always say for all the people who deny this information, I mean, how many times do you need me to show you the same thing? Look, these are the top stories this morning. The man who executed the CEO by the numbers on 54th Street. And remember, the name of that company that he represents has a gematria of 153. And we talked about how the story pointed to the Ides of March, to remember the assassination of Caesar, which is the 15th of March, 15/3. Again, same recurring patterns everywhere. The Daniel Penny stories in the news, another one with the exact same numbers all over it. 153, etc., etc. So, yeah, there's a lot more that could be said about this. Fulton County equals Donald Trump, where this whole thing went down. I'm sure you remember all the 248 stuff. Donald Trump getting his mugshot down there on 24/8, synced up with the country turning 248 years old, just like how when the election was called for him in 2016, it was called while he had 248 electoral votes. President Donald Trump equals 248. Again, the Illuminati is 248 years old. The Illuminati was founded by a Jesuit, Adam Weishaupt. And speaking of the Illuminati, how those fingerprints have been all over this ritual the whole time. Today's ritual is 188 days after Trump's birthday. Bavaria is 54, where the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt created the Illuminati, and Bavarian Illuminati is 188. And remember, the U.S. dollar bill denominations, the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, the 100, you add it together, they add up to 188. So yeah, you can go on and on and on about the ritualism, but it shouldn't be too hard to figure out who's running the show. And again, so many people out there want to say that my information is covering up for the small caps. How's it covering up when it's adding up each day? Again, the Jesuits gave us the calendar and the language. These people we're looking at day after day are Jesuit educated. Look into Luigi Mangione's family. His powerful grandfather, Jesuit educated. Again, all roads are leading to Rome. Again, when this country was founded, founders warned about what could happen if the Jesuits came out of suppression. They weren't warning about small caps. All right, we'll leave it there for now. And until next time, Truth Seeker.